Now, you know a lot of what the former president is going through and could be going through. You claim that this weaponization on the part of Alvin Bragg is a pattern. You've seen it before. Maybe you can explain.
Well, let me start out by saying that my heart aches for President Trump and his family. I know how hard it is to go through something like this, but my heart aches more for my country. This is the weaponization of political prosecutors who are persecuting people for things that aren't crimes. And they did it to me a long time ago. And I paid a heavy price. I fought back. They tried me twice, not once. When they failed to convict me of their fake corruption charges, they tried me a second time and used a standard, an unlawful standard, the United States Supreme Court expressly said wasn't the law, to get convictions for things that were legal. Now I see what they're doing to President Trump. I believe it was a test case with me. I was a Democrat governor. They did it to a Democrat governor at the AAA level. Now they're doing it to a Republican president at the major league level. When you abuse power, it's human nature. It doesn't happen overnight. It happens over time. And when they got away with it with a governor, they trained their weapons and have now been doing what they're doing to President Trump ever since he became a president, trying to change things in Washington. And I would say to my fellow Democrats, put your country first, put your oath of office to defend the Constitution first, and above your hatred of President Trump, join the other side. As Americans, we must stop this sort of thing because our republic is in danger. We are facing the possibility of real tyranny here, where the rights of the people to choose their leaders are being stolen from us.
You know, Governor, many in your own party, I'm talking about the Democratic Party, concur with you. They fear that maybe they've created a Frankenstein here and marshaled a lot more support for Donald Trump, certainly among his base and maybe outside that base. His campaign has already raised more than $12 million, we're told, since this indictment first came to light. And they might be careful what they wish for. The understanding was maybe try to make Donald Trump the nominee because he's beatable. Well, that didn't work in 2016. So as a Democrat, what do you think of that?
I think the Democrats, my fellow Democrats, should be thinking less about politics and more about the Constitution. Yes, this is a Frankenstein monster, but they're looking at it politically. They ought to think about what this is doing to our Constitution and the rule of law. Our founding fathers, the founders, created a country that was designed on checks and balances. They recognized human nature's tendency to abuse power. And what they've done to a Democrat governor me a long time ago, they're now doing to a Republican president, and when the tables are turned, they'll do it to a Democratic president. And this is destroying our republic. And so I would say to my fellow Democrats, again, put aside hyper-partisanship and your hatred for Trump. Put your love of country first. This is so obviously not criminal, what they're charging President Trump with. And the other things they're talking about doing are so obviously not criminal. Don't politicize the criminal justice system. Stop this weaponization of it. And let's put some check and balance on these uncontrolled prosecutors who are destroying our democracy.
Now, you mentioned this particular case the president is dealing with, Governor. Of course, there are others that could be pending, including an investigation into the Georgia recount that was going on, whether you interfered with that, the whole classified document stuff. I could go on and on. Do you think that it's a pile-on?
Oh, absolutely, of course. Look, the whole thing has been just a big persecution of Donald Trump. The Russian collusion thing. What they do is they give these things fancy names. They called mine the sale of the Senate seat. It was never a crime. The appellate court reversed that. They said it was routine political log rolling. There were conversations that began by President-elect Obama, and we discussed political deals, not anything for personal gain or money. Now what they're doing to Trump, the Russian collusion, a telephone call to the Ukrainian president becomes impeachable. January 6th, he's urging people to peacefully protest. Yeah, there were some reckless people that broke the law. They should be held responsible for what they did, but Trump's not culpable for that. He makes a phone call to the Secretary of State of Georgia and says, I need to find 12,000 votes to win. How is that criminal? None of these things are criminal. And this thing in New York is ridiculously not criminal.